Hey, what's up? David here with AfterVideoFX and welcome back to another video tutorial. Today we're going to be creating this CG fire scene using After Effects. And if you live in Australia like I do, you probably know that we get a lot of bushfires, especially in the summer. I remember in 2019 we had this major bushfire outbreak and the smoke spread all the way to New Zealand. So that's how hectic it is in Australia. Alright, so without further ado, let's take a look at what we're going to be creating. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a new comp, and we'll call this Bushfire. We'll make it full HD. I'll make it 30 frames. We'll make this about 10 seconds long. Hit OK. Now I've got some footage here, so I'm going to just drop it in here. I'll leave a link for where you could download all this. So I'm just going to scale it up. And then maybe I'll just move it down like that. Okay. Now, first thing I want to do is create my tree mats. So what I want to do is just make a new solid. And we'll make it, I don't know, red. Okay. And we'll come over here, grab the pen tool and just start drawing some mats around this tree here. And just keep going all around. Like that. And we can just feather it out maybe like 5 pixels. Like so. And we just want to make sure that it's perfectly aligned. So what I like to do is turn down the opacity and just adjust the mask shape of this. So if we come and look at this, we can just like move this across here and maybe move some of these points onto this side. And like that. So just start adjusting it. Whoa. Until you perfectly aligned. Well, not perfectly, just it's good enough to make a tree mat. Okay. So like that. Okay. And we'll just turn the opacity back up. Like that. And what we're going to do is pre-compose this. So Control-Shift-C. And we'll move all the attributes. And we'll call this left tree. Okay, and there we go, there's our tree. We'll just leave it on top for now, and we do the same for the rest of them. So we can make a new solid again and just start making some other tree mats. So maybe I'll do this like this right one here. Okay, and we'll just feather out maybe like 5 pixels and do the same thing for the rest of the trees. So the techniques I'm using is similar to the light rays video tutorial that I made. I'll leave a link for that as well if you guys want to check that video out. So yeah, it's pretty similar techniques. Okay, and we'll just bring that up. Just cover that bit. And we'll pre-compose this. We'll call this right tree. Hit OK. And we basically do the same for as how many trees you want to do. So I'm just going to time lapse this part. Okay, so once we have all of our tree mats done, we can just move on to our fire now. So I'm just going to hide all of this, and I'm going to drop in my fire footage. So which one was it? It was this one. So big fire. I'm using Video Copilot's fire. So if you want to, but you can use any other source if you like. So I'm just going to draw a quick mask around this area, just so that we don't have any harsh edges. And subtract that F and just verify like 10 pixels. Just move it up a bit. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to make an adjustment layer, so Control Y, and we'll call this alpha. And we'll just add the curves adjustment, and we'll just drop some of that alpha down like that, and that's it. Okay, and then we'll just pre-compose these. We'll call this fire alpha. Okay, alright, so now what we're going to do is add some of our glow to this. So what I'm going to do is add a 3 glow, so Control, and obviously it's going a little crazy here, but yeah, we can fix this up. So we would just drop this down to 0.1, and maybe drop down the threshold to about 35%, so we get that a little bit of hint of glow. Maybe spread the glow out a bit, and we'll change it to A and B colors. So we'll make this nice hot orange. Make this one a little bit brighter. Okay, and we'll do the same for this one. Drop that down to 0.1. We'll drop this down to like, I don't know, 15%. And we'll spread that glow out as well. And we'll set it to A and B colors. So like that. Okay, and that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna delete this last glow. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is add an exposure effect, and this will just help it expose some of the highlights a bit. So I might point this at 0.61. I think that was my value, and then I'm gonna add a hue and saturation. Come over to the red channel and just bring some of that red down a bit, the lightness down a bit as well, not too much though. And then we'll go into the yellows and bring that down and bring that up, so it's almost like white instead of more on the reddish side, but we can fix the reds. So I just want to bring that up a bit, just tweak that a bit. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Alright, so now that we have our file, we can go ahead and start compositing this. So I'm just going to bring my mattes, so I'm just going to put this as aqua and put it at the bottom, and I'm going to make a new solid, and make a white. We'll call this tree matte. Okay, and then we can apply the set matte effect onto our solid here. I'm going to select the left tree, and then I'm going to invert the matte. So now check this out. We have a matte that's been inverted, so you can only the tree can only be seen here. Now if I select my alpha file and select the track matte to alpha matte, what it should do is go behind the tree here. So look at that. That's awesome for compositing stages. And we can just start, just having trial and error. So I might like put this back here, or maybe just here a bit, and then I might just adjust the time a bit, and we can like duplicate this set, we can like move this fire behind this tree and behind this tree as well. So we can duplicate the set map and do the left second tree. So now it's behind this tree, and we can even like scale it down a bit, maybe scale it up, and offset the time. So we can time stretch it, and we can make it like 150, move it across like that. So we get different timing. So like that, like so. And we can even like duplicate this again, and then we can move it across over here, and we can just like change this to right tree, and we can just move this fire down here, and again we can offset the time. We might even double this, make it twice as slow, and just like move it randomly. Might even change the scale a bit, so maybe a little smaller, like that. Okay, and duplicate this and make this select the right second tree. So if we just move this across here, now it's behind this tree, and that's pretty cool. I might make this super big, maybe about 115 is a good value, and then we can just offset the time. I might change this to 130, and then just offset that time like that. Okay, so now we've got some fire compositing stage, and I might add like just the fire itself, and just bring it and add a little bit of small detail to this, so like that, and then just offset the time. Maybe time stretch this. And I'll make it behind this tree. So duplicate my tree mats, and I'll just go like that. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now we can start adding in some fire elements. So what I've got here is just some fire elements here. So I might add in this big fire, and I'll just set this to half res. So we got some fire here that's on screen, and we can just like cut some of this chunk out, and just subtract it. Hit F, feather it out. Okay. And might just scale them down here. Like maybe around here. Maybe put it on top of this tree here. And I want to make sure that it matches with our fire here, so I'm just going to add a hue and saturation. Actually, no, let's just copy the hue and saturation effect here and paste it over here. And I might just adjust the saturation a bit and make the yellow It doesn't have to be identical, it's just similar. Okay, and let's go into reds. Let's bring that red back in. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Alright, so maybe we can like duplicate it, offset the time a bit, and we can just stretch this, maybe it's about 130, and then we can like move it across here. Maybe we can scale it down a bit, maybe just place it in this right here, scale it up here, let's move it across on top of the screen here, like that, and we can add in another fire, so I think I used fire 5, move that in here, and just scale it up, so we've got this nice fire flame or something. Maybe just I might put it below the file and just copy our hue and saturation on top. So like that, maybe duplicate it and just offset the time. Time stretch this. Let's make it 150. Just move across here. So like maybe along here. Okay, and I might actually duplicate fire alpha and might set this to no track map, and I'll just make one that's right in the center here, and we'll just scale this one down. Okay, and might make one that's on top of the tree here, and duplicate it. Move one that's like around here, and I'll scale this one up as well. Okay, now I want to adjust the back's fires because they're looking a little too similar in size, so this one I might just scale it up and push it up like that, and for this one I'll just scale this one up as well and push it up. Okay,